Hi guys. So today's video post, I'm actually doing a live broadcast. I've never tried that before, but I just thought I'd try it because you live only once. So basically, the other day I got all of my fabric collection out of the containers that I keep it in, and I tipped it all out. And then I have to reorganize it. So this is a task that I do about once a year. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to show you the extent of my fabric collection. Now, I'm using a handheld iPad mini, so it's going to be very shaky, but it's live, so it doesn't matter. Now, let's see. How do I change the camera angle? There we go. Okay, so we've just come upstairs into this large attic room that I can use for this huge project. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to show you all the tubs that we're carrying, that we're storing, not carrying, that we're storing all of my fabric. So these tubs are, let's see, these tubs are 80-liter capacity. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's, oh, hi. Oh, thank you. Tubs that actually stored all of my fabrics. So I'm going to start by showing it to you clockwise. This is my wool pile, which I think is the smallest pile that I have so far. The biggest pile by far is this pile over here, which is the jerseys pile. So basically, I've just chucked everything out and I just put everything on the floor. Okay, and then that's my denims. Surprised by the size of that. These are my linens here. That's the linen tower. All of these right here are my cottons. These are the cotton fabrics. These are the lining fabrics. Okay, and over here, this lovely little small pile is my cotton sateen fabrics. So that's the woven fabrics that have a little bit of stretch. These are my viscose fabrics. These are all of my crepe fabrics. And I only have about 5 chiffons. And these are what I like to call my textured fabrics. So I don't quite know. Again, I'm very surprised at how much cotton canvas I had, but this is stuff that I bought from when I started out sewing and I wasn't very discerning. Oh, and the last pile. The last pile is my preciousness pile. So these are the fabrics that I love, adore, that cost me a lot of money. Oh, shaky camera again. Let's get you to focus. Focus, camera. There we go. So those are my precious fabrics. Okay, so now the next step that I have to do, see if I can show you. Look at that. It's like I have my very own fabric shop. Okay, and by the way, for those of you that ask me where I do my cutting, this is also the room where I do my all of my cutting in. So there you go. Right, so I'm just going to put this down for just a second and I'll get a stand so that I can talk through. Oops, what am I doing? No, sorry guys. This is my first time doing this, so literally have no idea. Oh, let me show you me. There I am. Hi! I'm wearing my scuba skirt and my favorite hat and a jumper. Okay, right, let's get a stand. This also doubles as a music room. So we've got a drum kit and some pianos, and I'm just getting a stand so that I can sit and talk to you guys. All right, I'm going to change the camera angle. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's see. How's the lighting here? No, it's not good. Nope. Okay, I'm just moving things around trying to find a spot with the best lighting. Okay, this one work? Yeah, I think that this works. So you can see my jerseys, which is the biggest pile that I have. Okay, so I just wanted to talk about my process of organizing my fabric. So this is something that's quite epic, and I do this at least once a year. And it's kind of similar to the KonMari method in the sense that I get all pieces of fabric that I have, even the scrap bits, every single piece of fabric is taken out of its storage box, and in the first stage I put everything into broad categories. So far I've got like the jerseys, the denims, linens, cottons, and then my precious pile, which is basically for all the fabrics that I'm super precious about, my favorite, absolute favorite fabrics. And so far I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I've got 13 broad categories, but I only have 12 80-liter tub containers. Ideally, I don't want to buy another 80-liter tub container. I want to just work with the 12 that I already have. So I'm going to have to figure out a way of doubling up on some categories, definitely. So I think I might put corduroys together with the textured fabrics, because, well, corduroy kind of has a bit of a texture to it. So the most challenging one to sort through is going to be my jersey fabrics, because there's, if you've been sewing for quite some time, you will also know that jersey fabric comes in a lot of different varieties. So we have things like, so this is a sweater fabric, but it's fleece backed and it doesn't have as much stretch, but it still counts as a jersey fabric. And then we also have things like Ponte, and I have this apple green Ponte Roma. Okay, doesn't have as much stretch as you'd get from a t-shirting jersey, which this one is so thin to the point of being almost see-through. Can you see me? So I have to sort through. So my first, once I have the jerseys, the first thing that I do is sort them according to the weight. So I'll have the light weights, the medium weights, and then sort of like the thicker ones. The sweater fabrics really have to be separately on their own. And that's because in my experience, I found that sewing patterns that call for sweater fabric, you can't really get away with using things like Ponte or viscose jersey. Generally sweater fabric is specific to the particular items that are being made, so that will get its own category. Okay, and then once I've sorted them into the three different weights, the lightweight, the medium weights, and the heavyweights, I then try and separate patterns and solids. And then they'll still go into the same container. So for example, the lightweights will go into the same tub. But what I do is I try to have like a partition down the middle, and I'll have solids on one side, and then I'll have patterns on the other. And I'm not really bothered, so I'll do stripes and florals together, because as far as I'm concerned, patterns are patterns, and the stripe is a form of a pattern. So that's what I'll do with them. So just the jerseys alone will take up 3 tubs because as you can see, I have a lot of love for my jersey fabrics. Yes, so that's how I will do the jerseys. And then with the cottons get basically divided into 2 categories. So I've got quite a lot of these quilting cottons, which I bought when I started sewing. So when I started sewing, I wasn't very discerning about the fabrics that I bought. I would just see a print that I liked, and I'd be like, "Ooh, that would be a nice dress." But this is really thick quilting cotton. This would, yeah, I mean, it would work as a dress, but it would require a lot of ironing because, quilting cotton, I don't find that it's very easy to iron for the most part, especially the medium weight cotton. So I'll separate them out based on whether they're quilting cottons or on whether they are just like a lightweight cotton lawn. So this lovely elephant's fabric here, which has been sitting in my stash for 2.5 years now, so I need to use it. So these will go separately because I find that the patterns that call for shirting fabric tend to be quite specific, so it's easier for me to just put shirting fabrics by themselves and the quilting cottons by themselves. And ideally, I would really like to work through the quilting cottons and kind of like get them out of my collection as soon as possible, because as I've grown in my sewing journey, I have found that I actually don't use a lot of quilting cotton except for maybe to make hats. So, oh, coincidence! I didn't realize that this is the fabric that I used to make this hat that I'm wearing. So the quilting cottons work really well for hats, and I'm going to be making quite a lot of hats, grown-up hats and kids hats. Kids hats are like the best to make. So that will be how I sort out my cottons. So that's just 2 broad categories based on the weight. And I don't have a lot of solid color cottons for some funny reason. I seem to buy a lot more solids in jerseys, but in cottons I don't actually have an awful lot, so there isn't any point in me separating out and giving a separate collection category for the solids because there aren't that many at all. And so yeah, and then the rest basically are just going to go as they are with the viscose rayons. Again, I seem to have a lot more florals and very, very few solids with the rayons, because I love patterns. I love patterned fabric. It's like my favorite. And the linens will get their own thingy. And so I'll show you how I fold them up and put them in and store them so that I can see everything. So basically, I'm an out of sight, out of mind kind of person. And I know that sounds really, really terrible, but honestly, if I'm not seeing fabric, it's almost as if it's not there. I will not remember that it is there. So this is why I use clear really exists. If I didn't do that, I would just completely forget, because I used to store all of my fabric in cardboard boxes because it was cheaper and I was recycling and reusing something. But I just thought I didn't have any fabric because I couldn't see it. And honestly, one of the best things that I did was moving my fabric collection into clear containers, and that significantly reduced how many times I was going out to extend my fabric collection, because whenever I felt like fabric shopping, I would force myself to look at the fabric that I already had, and it was a lot easier to see the fabric because it was in clear containers, and I had to arrange it in a way that meant that I could see every single piece of fabric. And this is a trick I learned from the Marie Kondo, Con Marie book. I think it's called The Life-Changing Art of Tidying Up. Yeah, it's an awesome awesome book. So yeah, I'm just gonna quickly show you how to do that before I sign off. So we'll start off with a container. Okay. And by the way, I got my girls to clean the containers and the lids, and so it was a fun task that I got to do with my little girls. Okay, so I'm gonna do the linens because I don't need to sort through the linens. The linens are all just going into one tub. Okay, so first of all, I like to look at the fabric before I put it away. I don't know if I should share this or not, but I I will talk to the fabric. I do. I talk to my fabric. But it's a thing that I do even in gardening. I do a lot of gardening, and we grow vegetables in an allotment, and I talk to my plants as well, and I think that they grow better because I talk to them, and even my house plants, I talk to them. So I kind of do the same thing with fabric. So, and this is why I really enjoy this annual fabric reorganization, because sometimes I'll go like, for example, this linen that I'd forgotten about, I'll just be like, hey, you know, I just want you to know that I still remember you. I still feel the attraction, from that first time I set eyes on you, and I'm still gonna come to you, and you know, we're gonna make our dreams come true. We are, you know, you haven't been forgotten. And I like to do that because you know what? It sparks joy. It makes me feel joyful. And what is this life if we can't stop and feel the joy in fabric? So yeah, so then I will fold it up as neatly as I can. And this is the thing that I learned from the KonMari thing. Okay, I need to bring this up so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, right, and then I roll it up like so. Now, the thing about rolling it up is I've found that the fabric creases a lot less, which makes it easier to use up. And what I'll do is I try and roll it so that it's just as wide as this width here. Okay. And so when they're stacked up, I've got that visual look. To me, it's like art, It's like art. I've got art, in my fabric collection. Okay, so I think I'm going to sign off for now. And if you've watched for this long, then thank you so much for sticking around and checking out my first ever live broadcast, which I don't know how to stop now, but I will figure it out. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. I have to prepare for a makes video because I've made quite a few things in between my triathlon training, which has been super amazing. But I had some goals that I wanted to meet with my sewing, and I did that, so I'm very, very happy. And I'm quite excited about doing that video, and I hope to get that done probably tomorrow, because today I got a lot of cycling and a lot of running to do later on, and then swimming as well. So I need to conserve my energy. So I'm just going to finish up sorting out my fabric, and I'll try and do a quick video to show you what the fabric collection, the art, I like to call it art, what my art slash collection is going to look like once it's completely done up and you can enjoy it. Okay, until I see you next time, I'm going to say bye now, but I have to figure out how to stop the live recording. Okay, I think I press this thing here. Uh, bye, Crystal Sews and stuff. Thank you so much for watching. It's crazy. When I started doing this, I literally didn't think that anybody would be watching, but I'm all for trying out new things. Okay, how do I turn this off? So that's got share and mute microphone. Uh, okay, nope. Oh, hi, Eleanor. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, Eleanor, by the way. I'm super, super excited about that. So I'm doing all of my triathlon stuff that I have to do today so that tomorrow I don't have to worry about it. Okay, so I've succeeded in changing the filter, but still haven't figured out how to stop this. Oh, okay. Right. Nope. Okay, I'm gonna try pressing the cross. That should definitely do it. That should do it. Are you sure you want it? Yes, I figured out a way to stop it. So I'm gonna say peace out. And until I see you next time, happy sewing.